Hey, this is Mark Kenninger here at Audio Advice Live 2023 in Raleigh, North Carolina, and I am in a KEF and Sony home theater demo room. One of the great things about this show is that it's not just like an audio show, it is a home theater and AV show full of TVs and projectors covering a broad range of price points and capabilities. So I'm here with Kevon from Sony,
right.
Who has been sort of watching over this room, giving people demos, and can explain what this particular system does. It's not crazy like the Barco, but it's not entry level by any means. So what are we listening to? And
well, we're looking at, first off, the Sony 7000ES projector, and this projector, really what we wanted to showcase here was a less than ideal setup, and as you can see with the screen behind us, we actually have a row of lights that are shining directly on a non-ambient light rejecting screen. Yeah, and to be able to get that kind of brightness on a very dark themed show, we're actually watching Hans Zimmer in Prague, to be able to see detail in highlight and low light with all of this ambient light is really the message here. I could have easily hit the screen up to be in front of that row of lights, but the idea is to show, hey, if you wanted to keep the lights on, if you want to be watching a fight or a football game or anything in between, you're really going to be able to enjoy that stuff without having to see if the person next to you is even there anymore, because all the lights are off and you can't see anything in the theater. So we're getting into that new era of projection where we're able to kind of have a TV-like image in a projector type scenario.
Sure, so it's not just that it can do HDR highlights, it's that a projector can illuminate the whole image enough that it acts TV-like. And I think I've been paying attention to this a lot. At CES, I saw the initial demo with the 7000ES and ambient light. But now you're stepping it up by using a flat matte screen, a home theater quality screen that has no shimmer or anything to it whatsoever. It's clean. But it looks like that anyway. And I think that's very cool because a lot of people forget that with TVs, the TV itself has to be bright enough, or again, in a bright room, you lose the image. So it's not like TVs are immune to it, something that projectors are a weakness. And on the flip side, yes, if you have enough brightness with a projector, it starts to overcome it, and it starts to look like a giant TV.
Yeah, and that's a 131 inch, so a lot of times that 120 is a sweet spot if you're wanting to do an ambient lit room. But that's at a 131 at about a 22-foot throw, and we can even get that projector even closer to about a 15-foot to 16-foot throw at that size. So if you wanted to get brighter, you could. Just with our seating arrangements, we had to accommodate that. But that's been a knock out of the park from the video side, is just being able to get into that sub $30,000 price point and still get what was, in my opinion, that $50,000 plus price point.
Sure. Well, what I see is there's the ultra short throw projectors, but really they're maxing out at 100 inches, maybe 120 inch screens. But at those sizes, they're not providing this cinematic quality. So it is really cool to see a projection outfit that sort of does both.
It really
things.
is, Mark. It really is.
Yeah. And
so on top of the video side, we're showing the Sony 7000ES receiver. You might be able to see it in that AV rack right there. On top of the KEF Q950 system, we're driving 11 channels, all from one box. Now, a lot of the demos we've been giving, people have been blown away that at one receiver, being able to drive 6 floor standing speakers at ear level with one center channel, 5 Cube 12 subwoofers, which you have your 12-inch subwoofers all throughout the room. And then on top of that, 4 of the atmospheric speakers, we're using the KEF CI200RR. I do believe that's the model number. And overall, just to get 11 channels being powered from one box, but more importantly, the audio processing that the 7000 offers, which is called 360 spatial sound mapping. The audio processing on this can really tie a room like this together, which might be less than ideal of a setup. And even if you have a great setup where you put the speakers exactly where you want, it'll even bring those out as well. And it's doing that all in real time, and by the push of a button, by the way. You don't have to use the 360 spatial sound mapping. You can just turn it on, turn it off, and just see how you like it for your environment.
You literally don't have to tell me, because I had that AVR in my house.
Awesome. And I don't have to sell you on it.
No. And you know what I did? I did a 9.4.4 system with it. Absolutely. It's in the speaker system, which is not KEF, is in the Sound and Vision that's on the floor here. But the point is, yes, that AVR drove. And they were all 4-ohm speakers with lots of power handling. And yeah, I agree. It did a fantastic job running a huge system like that.
Oh, that makes me happy to hear. So
yeah,
we match up great. So we're using KEF in this theater, but we've paired up with all sorts of different speaker brands throughout the launch of our receiver lineup. And there is yet to be, I mean, I think 4 or 5 different brands that we've partnered with, and I've yet to find a speaker system where people, let's say if we had a 5.1 system, they were thinking heights were being overhead and there was no atmospheric speakers, and it just does
because it was doing height virtualization.
Exactly. Yeah, it really does raise that audio performance to give you that more immersive listening effect.
Yeah, that's the challenge with Atmos is maybe you have vaulted ceilings, you can't use the reflective, but maybe you can't install speakers up there. Yeah, in which case...
And in this case, you all can kind of see how high the ceiling is. These are about 20-foot ceilings. And yeah, it really lowers the Atmos dome, if you will, to be right where it needs to be. And that was all done through not only the auto calibration that we offer, but also the 360 spatial sound mapping.
Right, and the way you have it set up here, you've got 3 nice sweet spot, like super comfy seats, and then you got the rest of the audience. But if you sit there, as I can see, you're
getting a good effect.
Yeah, you're pretty symmetrical and theatrical aspect ratio and everything.
And Mark, one last thing that we're showing in here. So our source is Kaleidoscape, and we have nothing but awesome things to say about that. Being able to play the master files from the studio has just been a super great experience for our listeners. But lastly, from a video perspective, this image that you're actually watching is normally formatted 16:9. We're actually watching on a 240 screen, and a very natural stretch that you're getting. You can hardly tell that this isn't formatted for 240. And the neat part about the Mad VR is that it's doing that all in real time. So we have partnered with Mad VR to showcase the stretch and a few of the other features that processor offers, but we're able to really partner up with multiple different brands between Mad VR, Kaleidoscape, and KEF, and just show that we play well with everyone, and we really want to be a part of that integration story.
So I'm going to put this in this video because I must. All right.
Yeah.
So my first great system was a Sony ES. I bought it in the early 90s.
Wow.
And I've been a fan of the, of the concept and the idea of elevated standards. So with Mad VR and the Sony system and KEF and a TV in the living room, what we're doing now is something different than has been achievable before. And let's say you're an audiophile, right? And you're buying record player and power cords and ever better pair of speakers. But if you love music, more and more 4K and Atmos is a way that you're going to get a true concert experience. Would you agree?
Yeah, absolutely.
So you don't have to be a movie lover to say, I'm going to invest in this. And in fact, I think those folks have been spending huge amounts of money to enjoy just music forever. And so they should really be aware of all this technology and how it's bringing a concert hall into a living room. And if you set it up right and you're in that seat there, you're going to be in that concert hall, and it's going to achieve the things that you wanted to achieve in your audiophile approach, still valid. It's just that recorded differently and in a different format.
Formatting music for a cinema experience is kind of the new wave, if you will. And the thing about this system, Mark, is that we're actually showing about $15,000 worth of speakers, all again being driven by the 7000. But the idea is that you don't have to go anything crazy if you want to get that cinematic experience. You're getting 11 speakers and 5 subwoofers for a very affordable price point. And the idea is to show, hey, not only for movies is this a great setup, but we're not afraid to show some audio. We've been doing some music demos and really want to showcase the power of, no pun intended, getting proper power delivery to all of the speakers through our receivers. So it's just been an awesome matchup, and this theater has been really, really fun for our viewers and listeners.
Yeah, because you could put this in. This is basically the size of my living room. That's what I'm saying. I actually just did this. And it works, and the simplicity of it. If you're cool with towers and you don't want to install stuff in your walls, then you can set it up yourself.
Correct.
Which is even more amazing.
So it took me about 15-20 minutes to dial the theater in. I mean, obviously placing everything around took a lot longer, but actually going through the interface and dialing it in, it was a 15 to 20 minute dial-in process. And given a listen to all the demo clips, it really rocked. So be sure, if you haven't gotten your chance to make it down to AudioVice Live this year, next year you definitely got to come down and give these theaters a listen.
I got to agree.
It's such a great experience having a dealer that is also able to put on a show like this, showing a wide range of different speakers and receivers and all the hardware that we're showing you.
Yeah, it's always been sort of like for industry only.
Yeah.
But now there's a show where you can really see the full range of options.
Truly awesome.
Yeah,
they're setting the standard, if you will. So
yeah, my favorite show so far.
I would not be far to agree with that. So it has been. You almost have to think that this isn't a trade show. This is a one dealer putting on all of this. So it's been a great partnership with Audio Advice, and we really appreciate everything they've done to showcase this product.
I gotta agree. Also, Scott Noonan.
Yeah, he knows what he's doing.
Yeah,
they know what they're doing over there. So it's an awesome team there.
All righty. Well, thanks, Kevin.
Mark, thank you so much.
Yeah. Till next time.
The premise is simple. We don't have to do anything else. This is where we're at. No focus, hocus pocus here. We're gonna zoom right on into the locus.